Welcome to Workout Tips. Today we're going to talk about Toyama-ryu Ippon-me Mainoteki. What I'd like you to look at is the couple of different aspects on how to manipulate a sword so you can train a little bit smoother and better. Here are a few more points I'd like you to add into the equation. At first, bring your hands out, grasp the sword, create your triangle like we've discussed earlier. Let go with your left hand, bring it over as you begin to step forward and cut at the same time. You can see how this goes. Everything starts going out at the same time. You don't want to telegraph by having your foot go out first. So when we come out all at the same time like this, we bring the sword up past the neck of the person. I could pull it up this way because it feels a lot easier, but the difficult part arises is that I'm all open now. So just in case I miss with my first shot, I can easily follow it and stab into the target area just in case I have to back cut up. From here, any way that you look at it, I got to bring it to the top of my head. The easiest thing to do is take your wrist and bend it 180 degrees. And as a general rule, the way your arm is positioned, he'll naturally go above your head. That way you don't have to think onto the next technique, making sure that you're tall and not leaning forward. From this aspect, you can barely see. I can see a little bit of the handle left in my vision up above my head. At that time, I want to go with my hand not from here and not from down here, but basically centered and up this way to create the shortest distance between the two. Of course, we've discussed this previously, but just for a refresher, make sure that the shortest line between your hand and the sword handle doesn't go like this, but straight up there so you can grasp it. After you've grasped it, execute the hidari kesugiri cut and then come back into a center stance. And then of course chiburi. A lot of the time we spend so much time on ritual that the technique itself isn't practiced as much. So if we went Toyama 1 to 8, it'd take about 4.5 minutes. But out of all that, how many cuts did you get in about 4.5 minutes? Not too many, really, probably about 18 or 20 cuts. So what I suggest is, if you really like kata and work at it, I'd break down the kata a little bit more and make sure that you're just doing the cutting technique. For example, Toyama 1, I do something like this. And start here with my right foot forward, just to keep my base and know where I am. How my first cut is left foot out and sword up. Bring it this way and cut down. Turn it back, cut up, turn it down. Turn, set up, and cut up. Turn, set up, and cut down. And work your way this way. Just like that. Just keep working that in. And since you're probably doing this at home, you'll be in your backyard or front yard or park or wherever you want, garage even the hall. And go back and forth. Because if you stay in a cramped area like a hall, that means your sword technique won't be too wide and wild, and it will be a little bit more on target. So there are a lot of benefits to practice in a tight area. Back to this though, is that I finish my cut, and now I'll go back. I'll set up, cut down, cut, up, set, down, set, up, set, down, set, up, set, down. And you can see the pattern you can start working on that will allow you to get more practical application and repetition into the series. After you've gone through the numbers and you have it fairly smooth, the next level up is your intermediate level where you're doing ya. Ya is the ki. Instead of 1, 2, 3 numbers like we did at the beginning, now ya sets in. And if we use a long, full ki, the technique will be slower. For example, ya. See how that is? But if I pick the tempo up and double my ki speed, a little bit more like this will double too. And ya. The more energy I want to put into the cut, the more of a bark of a ki I must do. So to take it up to a fairly good speed, and it, yeah. Now you're starting to see that it's starting to look like a military style art when you practice. The difficult part arises when the student tries to practice his sword techniques at full speed. Take your time. Let the sword drop with gravity. If you go any faster than this, you can't correct it because you're too busy going like this and you can't see the mistakes. So when you're at home and you're practicing by yourself, set up really hard and fast. But make sure the cut comes down slow so over time you can correct the correct angle without just swinging in the blind. Another point. Now, since we're at wood, and we're bringing this Kata 1 up to speed, and yaw. When you got to that speed and you can efficiently do it at any time without hesitating for starting off, the next thing I want us to do is steal.